Chapter 1. No more crying over men who don't recognize your worth. At some point in every woman's life, there has been heartbreak. In fact, most women have had more than one, and for some, it becomes a pattern. If you enter into a new relationship only for the same old patterns to start emerging, you're probably wondering what you can do to change your dating success. The truth? It's not really anything you're doing. It's his typical male habits. You're not doing anything wrong by wanting to be loved. You're not doing anything wrong by trying to be the best partner you can be. The thing is, that's not what he wants you to be. He wants you to show that you're worth the chase. Men do not think the same way as women, and that's where most women go wrong. Assuming that he's going to recognize your worth from your actions isn't going to give you the dating success you crave. Instead, you need to learn how to play him at his own game while actually not playing games at all. Sounds confusing? It's really not. Brian Knox teaches you how to quit your old habits and change your dating outlook. None of this is done by changing who you are. It's simply by changing your own view of yourself. Turn your focus inwards, start doing things for you, and become a woman he craves to chase. The ironic thing is that by doing all of this, you'll enjoy the dating scene so much more, and you'll experience far less of those past heartbreaks. Your old dating habits have not worked to date. If you want success, something needs to change. Chapter 2. Forget your nice girl tendencies and become a woman of high value instead. We're told we should be nice, but have you ever stopped to consider that perhaps nice girls always end up being pushed to one side? Sure, being nice is a good thing in terms of treating people, but if it doesn't serve you, perhaps you should start redefining your idea of nice. A nice girl often wears her heart on her sleeve, and she's upfront and honest about everything. She's keen to know what's going on, and she usually wants a label not too far into the dating situation. She wants her partner to appreciate her, so she tries to impress him at every turn. What she doesn't realize is that he should be the one pulling out all the stops to impress her. By doing all of this, he has the power, not her. What happens? He pulls away, uses her, and leaves her, becoming a game player. So how can you avoid this situation? Become a woman who knows her worth. Many women are so keen to impress a new partner they often begin to change parts of their character. Don't do it. Have faith in who you are. A woman who knows that she's a true prize will walk away from a guy who starts treating her poorly. She won't stop to cry or wonder, what if? She'll carry on doing what she's doing, enjoying her life. She knows that if anyone needs to change, it's him and certainly not her. She doesn't always answer when he calls, but she's not doing it to play games. She's too busy living her life. Far too many women think that game playing is the way to trick a man into loving her. The truth is, it pushes him away. By playing games, you're trying to manipulate the situation and him into doing or feeling something. You're trying to gain validation from him, and that's not attractive to him. It shows you as having a weak character. The nanosecond men know a woman is doing something under the radar in an effort to be liked, they lose all the value they had been building. Brian Knox. Chapter 3. Wanting to be in a relationship too badly can lead you towards the wrong man. Many women have a list of stories outlining relationships or crushes that started out promising but quickly went wrong. Why? Because they were so focused on this guy as the one that they started to accept bad behavior from him, leading to even more emotional upset down the line. Many women also fall for bad boys. Why is that? What makes them so appealing? Brian Knox suggests that it comes down to a woman's instincts. A bad boy has that look of danger about him, but that also means he could probably protect you if need be. Underneath it all, most women want to be protected in some way. When they see a bad boy acting in a brooding way, they think he can be the guy to protect them from the world's madness. The problem is that bad boys have the word bad in the title for a reason. They're bad for you. Bad boys might seem attractive on the surface, but what is all that appealing about being treated poorly and constantly having to wonder where you stand? Look past his good looks and see the bigger picture. Bad boys play games, mess with your mind, and they don't call when they say they will. Many women make the mistake of nagging, complaining, or chasing, but it's far better to ignore him and get on with the good stuff in your life. Then he'll wonder why his usual tactics aren't working on you and why you're so special that you're immune to his so-called charms. Being keen to be part of a relationship can lead you towards exhibiting the wrong behavior. Brian Knox suggests that you don't sleep with a guy too soon. When you're intimate with someone, your brain floods your system with oxytocin, and it's hard to think past the love goggles when you have high amounts of hormones clouding your judgment. That could easily lead you towards behavior that causes him to pull away or to overlook the red flags telling you to leave. Men love a challenge. By giving him everything he wants too soon, you're making the chase uninteresting. Focus on building a connection and getting to know one another on a personality level. That way, you'll get to see if you want to spend more time with this guy or not. Remember, guys are always on their best behavior at the start. Chapter 4. Forget sex too soon. Make him wait and reap the benefits. Many women focus on their body and their looks as a way of attracting a man. Indeed, looks are powerful because that's often the first thing someone notices about you until they have a conversation and get to know your quick wit and personality. However, looks certainly don't last forever, and once you've seen someone's face or body once or twice, it can quickly become old. There is only one you. Why hide who you are? Let your personality shine through and be proud of it. Although men notice the physical, looks aren't what make them want to move in with a woman or choose her to be his life partner. That comes down to her personality. Of course, that also means you need to be brave enough to be yourself and not feel like you need to change or adapt to any part of you to be accepted. A woman who knows her worth won't do any of that. She'll just be herself and know that it's more than enough. Men indeed think about sex a lot, but it's not true that it's all they think about. An excellent way to work out whether a guy you're dating is a good guy or a bad guy is to make him wait until you are ready to jump into bed with him. Brian Knox mentioned earlier that not being intimate too soon helps you avoid your vision being clouded by oxytocin, but it goes further than that. If you sleep with him too soon, you're not any different from any of the other women he's had in his life. What makes you different is that you make him wait and you let him get to know you first. Be the one that stands out. Be strong enough to wait and get to know each other better first. Many women worry that this will make him leave because, of course, men are supposed to only be about sex. Sure, the bad boy might only want sex, and in that case, you're not losing anything by them leaving, right? On the other hand, a good guy will wait until you're ready. Please don't think he's going to run away if you don't give him enough sex. The men who do were game players. They were not in it for the long haul, and you're better off without them. Brian Knox. Did you know? A 2017 survey by Groupon found that most men feel 5 dates is enough before jumping into bed, but most women feel that 9 dates are more appropriate. Chapter 5. Make him do exactly what you want while making him think it was his idea all along. Men are often ruled by their egos. Of course, not all men are the same, but on the whole, a man's ego causes him to need to be the one in control. You can use this to your advantage. How many times have you asked your partner to do something, only for them to take their sweet time with it, or not do it at all? Change the record by making him think that it's his idea. Too many women start to nag and complain when a guy doesn't do something they've asked him to do. However, nagging and complaining will make him not do it even more. The key is to make him do it because he thinks he should, and it was his idea all along. A guy's ego loves a challenge. You can get him to do almost anything you want by making him think that he's the one in control. In reality, you're the one in the driver's seat. A woman who knows her worth isn't going to nag a man because she doesn't see the point in wasting her time. Instead, she'll play it to her advantage. That doesn't mean playing games. It simply means knowing how a guy's ego works and using it to her benefit, which is accomplished using reverse psychology. Let's say you want him to wash the car. Rather than asking him to do it, then nagging because he hasn't done it yet, leave it to become so dirty that it looks a real mess. You could even push things a little by using your finger to make circles or patterns in the grime. By doing this, you're making him think that he ought to clean it because it looks terrible. Of course, it was your idea all along, but he's more likely to do it now because he thinks it was his idea. It might sound like an odd tactic, but to get a guy to do something, you have to work in the opposite way to what makes real sense to you. Men think differently. Chapter 6. Build your self-respect. It's your most attractive personality trait. Looks are powerful. Personality is powerful. But do you know the most powerful and attractive thing you can possess as a woman? Self-respect. A woman with self-respect knows that if a guy mistreats her, she can push him away and get on with her life. Other men will come along and she won't change her stance due to any past experience. She knows that she is a prize worth competing for, and she won't change for anyone. Self-respect will stop you from staying in any situation that doesn't serve you well. It's a protection tool few women use. Build yours and use it. At some point, we've all been guilty of changing ourselves or our opinions to fit in or make someone like us more. Why bother? Why change something to make someone like you? In that case, they do not like the real you. They like a modified and therefore fake version of you. Keeping up a fraudulent act is exhausting, so what happens if the relationship runs the whole course? Changing any aspect of yourself to be liked means that you're not showing self-respect. Of course, nobody is born with self-respect. It's something you have to build up over time and keep using. Experiences can knock your self-respect occasionally, and that's fine, as long as you build it back up again. Know who you are and know that you're worthy of a good man who doesn't treat you poorly. If he doesn't come along, that's fine. You're all you need, and a man doesn't complete you. A man isn't all you need in life. You have friends, family, career, dreams, hopes, health, and aspirations. A man complements it. He doesn't complete it. Of course, it's easy to think that a woman who knows her worth might come across as being pretty high maintenance. That's not the case. She's not playing games at any point, and she doesn't have a myriad of rules a man must follow. She simply knows what she's worth, and if he doesn't live up to her expectations, she moves on and focuses on her own life in the meantime. This doesn't mean she's never flexible and doesn't compromise, because these are both essential facets of a relationship. It simply means that she knows how far she's willing to compromise compared to how much will make her miserable. Conclusion. Matters of the heart can be messy. It's easy to accept far less than you deserve because you're scared of being alone, or you simply love someone too much to admit that they're not suitable for you. The truth is that many women make huge mistakes at the very start of a relationship, handing the power over to the man. The ideal situation is to share control, but when you make these mistakes, you're always going to wonder what's going on in your relationship. Becoming a woman who knows her worth won't happen overnight. It's the same as confidence. You need to build it up, use it regularly, and flex that muscle until it becomes second nature. The more you use your self-respect and self-worth, the more you'll believe them to be true. The thing is, they are true. We're all unique and wonderful in our own right, and you shouldn't put up with terrible treatment from anyone. He might be the most beautiful-looking man in the world, but if he mistreats you, he becomes ugly very, very quickly indeed. If your relationships in the past have always followed a similar pattern, it's time to try something different. The old way isn't working for you. Hold back on being intimate. Be brave enough to be yourself. Don't put up with terrible behavior and focus on your own life. If he's meant to stick around, he'll value all of the things you're doing and won't try and trick you or play games.